Hello and welcome to F1 Manager 24. It's release day. We have the new game and we are about to start a new series as we create a team in F1 Manager 24. If you're new to the channel, we've been streaming F1 Manager 23 for the last few months, bringing our McLaren series to a bit of an abrupt end because we have the new game, so we want to jump onto this one. But I say, if you're new or you're returning but you're not yet already, please do hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see, please do like the video. It really does help the channel out. And please do get involved with the comments. But without further delay, let's start this F1 Manager 24 journey. And let's create a new team. Here we go then. We are ready to create our team. And I say a new team, but actually it's a team that returns from the past. And we are going with Team Lotus. And this isn't the Lotus we had a few years ago. So there is a couple of iterations of Lotus. Team Lotus, or the original Lotus, were sponsoring Renault. And that was a Lotus team. And then we had Tony Fernandez, who had his team. He had the naming rights to Lotus. So we ended up with a couple of Lotus teams on the grid. Tony Fernandez one would go on to become Caterham. And then Renault obviously took back full control in terms of going with Renault. So, yeah, this is Lotus back again, but I wouldn't say in the shape of those two teams we had a few years ago. This is the original classic Team Lotus, John Player classic Lotus from way back when. So that is the team that we're going to go with for this F1 Manager 2024 series. To kick off this series, we may do a few, of course, but this is the one we're going with to start with. So let's have a look. We've got a few presets we can choose from, so we can create our own. Got Hungry Newcomer, that gives us a starting balance of $20 million. Team rating of 1 star. Car is 2 out of 5. Facilities 1 out of 5. Drivers 2 out of 5. Staff 2 out of 5. So I want to start as low as possible. So technical breakthrough, yeah. So this is all going to be too high for what we're looking to do. Same with Phoenix Rising, Industry Giant, and Automotive Legacy. So these are all too high for what we're trying to do, but these are good to set up your own journeys, because you maybe want to do, say, Audi, for example, and you'd probably pick one of these that has, you know, something such as this or Industry Giant. So they're all good, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for our own story. And although it's a team coming back, it's very difficult to get into Formula One, of course, and it's costly. So we've paid a lot of money to get here. So I think we are going to go 1 out of 5 on everything. Now we can, by the looks of it, edit some of the facilities. So these are the facilities. It starts us off 1 out of 5 on all of them. You can't go any higher than 3 with your preset. With our preset, we can only pick 1 to have 2 out of 3 on. So it's going to be either the factory or design center. Either way, we'll probably upgrade one of these very quickly. I think there's no point designing parts if you can't manufacture them. So I'm probably tempted to get the factory to level 2 to begin with. Our facilities is what it is. We can't change anything on there. We can take one off. We can take 1 point off the operations facilities and change it, but again, not too bothered on that. But yeah, I think we're good to go on there. Car performance, so that's all set. So let's move on to the next step. So let's have a look at the drivers we're going to place in the team. So we can randomize it, but let's actually have a look. So I think these are unrealistic for our story. I want to make it a little bit realistic. And I think with that, you know, we'd be looking at drivers, although this is the 2024 season, looking ahead to maybe 2025 and what drivers are going to be out of contract, and, you know, if a new team was coming in, who could they sign? So Bottas potentially could be one, to be fair. But he's quite costly at 11 million. Danny Rick is a good shout. And I think also experience. I know a lot of people create a team, put young drivers in the car, but I think Haas showed a few years ago, going back to Hulkenberg and K-Mag, just to get a bit of stability helped them. Now they're ready to sort of push forward. So I think the first I'm going to go for is Mick Schumacher. He's not young in terms of a Formula 1 driver, but he's only 24 still. Not too costly, and he's got a bit of Formula 1 experience. So I'd go Mick Schumacher. Do you like the thought of Danny Ricciardo? So I think he is someone that you could potentially get. Because he's not going to get the Red Bull drive. RB probably want to keep Yuki, get Liam Lawson in there. So Danny Rick would be looking to leave Formula 1, or maybe if he wants to stay, he's probably not going to get a top seat now. So maybe coming in, helping a newcomer develop their car. So I like the thought. Daniel Ricciardo in car 1. And then Mick Schumacher in car 2. So that is Mick Schumacher in car 2. And I'm just realising our driver pairing now rhymes. It's the Mick and Danny Rick Dream Team. I'm pretty happy with that, to be fair. We could go for some young F2 drivers, but I think if you're a team coming in, you want a bit of Formula 1 experience. Mick Schumacher would be quite a good shout as still a driver that can develop. And then Daniel Ricciardo is that senior driver. He's got years worth of experience, can help develop the car. So Daniel Ricciardo's our lead driver. Mick Schumacher will be in the second car. Now, staff-wise, what do we do here then? So I don't think we would be coming in and nicking staff, would we, really, this level? We go for some generated. Go for some generated. Mika Nyman. He's going to be our technical chief. And head of aero. A 37-year-old. Although he is rated one more as Nasser Iya. Let's go for him for head of aero. Our sporting director. Random that, why is there only males for these jobs? Slightly sexist. Only male for these jobs and only female for sporting director. That's odd. Surely either sex can do either job, but hey ho, that's what the developers have gone with, unless it's just a coincidence that's done that on my game. Yeah, let's go for Nicole Daniels. Race engineer for Danny Rick is Victor Bushko. And for Mick Schumacher is Monica Sikura. We'll probably change these. I just want to make it, as I say, a little bit realistic. We wouldn't be coming in as a new team at the level we're starting and suddenly poach all the staff. But we will start poaching staff, but we'll do it in the game. We shall do that in the game. So there we go. These are our drivers. Danny Ricciardo is our lead driver. Mick Schumacher in the second car. Then we've got staff across here with Mika Nyman as our technical chief. Nasor Iya, probably butchering that, as our head of aero. Nicole Daniels as our sporting director. And then we've got Victor Bushko as Danny Rick's race engineer. And Monica Sikura as Mick Schumacher's race engineer. Powertrain. So who would Lotus realistically come in? They've had a relationship with Renault before. So I think it'd be Renault. Probably the cheapest as well, if we were being honest with you. If you're a new team coming in looking to get an engine supplier. Right, let's sort our team branding out now. So I'm going to do our team colours, livery, driver suits, and logo. All right, so let's get into setting these team colours first of all. So I want to get a bit of a dark green going on first of all. Something like that. Right, now let's work on the car livery. So we work on the logo first. Work on the logo first. What I'll do is I'll work through this and then I'll show you the end result. So I've actually forwarded on this segment quite a lot because this actually took me an age to do. As I'll go on to say, it's not my strong suit, and I wanted to get a logo that we could at least pass off as being Lotus, and I think in the end we get there. I'm sure there's many people out there that could do a better job, But for now, I am happy with the end result. But of course, if you watch this and you've got a bit of a tutorial in which you think we can do a better Lotus logo, do send it my way and I'll be sure to copy it. Right, there we have it. I think we've got a logo. It's very Paint-esque, isn't it? But that will do. I'm not very artistic, and that's the best I'm going to get it to look. So hopefully there'll be some mods in a few weeks where we can get the actual Lotus logo. I'm not too happy with some of the colour schemes, the font, but does the job. We know who it is, so we will go with that. Let me save that one. Right, let's go on to the livery. Alright, so I think we're going to go with this livery for now. You can have multiple liveries in this game, so we can do some special ones later on. But I quite like the flow of the car there. So we'll go with that for now. Driver suits. I'm not too bothered really at how these look, to be honest with you. Right, that's fine. So that'll be the driver suits. As I say, not too bothered about the driver suits, so we'll rock that for now. Our livery, driver suits, and logo, I think, are done. So we have got our paint-esque logo is showing in the game, so we're going to see that constantly. So yeah, there we go. So as you see, we've got Danny Rick and Mick Schumacher. So this is new, the Mentality Hub, which is mostly negative. That's always nice. Angela Johns then, she's welcoming us to the team. Very excited to have you on board, and we're looking forward to taking on the season under your leadership. We are indeed looking forward to it as well. We've got the Bahrain Grand Prix in just 11 days. So what's designing a new underfloor? We're focusing on low speed, medium speed, and high speed. And we are going to put 5 engineers on it, normal. And that's going to take 24 days to complete that for $1 million. Right, so here we go. Sponsor negotiations. So this is going to be important for us. So we get a guaranteed funding, which is up front. Then we get engagement and race day. We've only got $1 million. So I think really we want some upfront. So that's 21. Select title. So this is going to give us 3 million up front. Yeah, that one's poor. This is going to give us 21 million up front, 31 million in total. 35, 45 from upfront and race day. This one surely is the one to go with, no? Go with that. Right, there we go. That's sponsors set. So now we've secured our sponsors, we have been able to go in and update the decals on the livery and add our logo. And this is what our first Team Lotus car is looking like. As you can see, got the logo at the front here. Yeah, to be honest with you, pretty happy with how it has turned out for our first livery. Not bad at all, I would say. So the car is set. I think most things are done now before we start to progress into the first Grand Prix of this 2024 season. So getting pretty excited now. We've got this car all set up and ready to go. Right, now we've got some money. We've got $26.5 million. So let's do that front wing that we were going to do. So let's drop that down to 2 to 4. We go 1 to 3. We can go 1 to 3 actually. Right, this tyre preservation, that's what I want to look at, isn't it? I don't really want to lose any dirty air tolerance. We need that to go up, so I think we'll go for that. So we'll stick the remaining engineers. 32 days, could rush it. It's 900,000 to rush it. We don't want to do too many rush items on this first season, but let's go with one there. There we go. We've got 2 designs in the works, and they are going to be done in 3 weeks' time. So 18 days for the underfloor, 21 days for the front wing. We've got the Bahrain Grand Prix in 5 days. So after that, where is that? That is the 2nd, isn't it? Then we've got a race the following week. So we're not going to have any upgrades on the car until Australia, basically. Oh, here we are, Bahrain Grand Prix. So let's have a look. Ah, here we go. So this is the confirmation of our sponsorship package. So we've got engagement that we'll have to do for that further funding. And then we've got the race day and the upfront. So engagement, we probably won't get all of that because we don't want to lose out on certain things where there's negative against those. Certainly the race day and upfront we want to try and capture. Car analysis then. So we are very much the slowest car on the grid. So we've got to set some race a target. So, okay, so this is a little bit different, isn't it? So this is for Daniel Ricciardo. 22 cars on the grid. I'm going to go 21st or higher because, yeah, I don't want to... What is the... Not saying if we get a loss here, is it? Before we used to get a loss. Is this just that you won't get a reward, I guess, if you don't achieve it? So, I'm happy just to go for that for this first race. Might be someone that retires, but... Let's just go with that and be on the cautious side. So I think with that set, we are now ready to start practice in Bahrain. Oh, oh, the joys of a day one game. What happened there? Right, I'm going to have to make plenty of saves going through this. Need to remind myself. Right, Danny Rick's out on track. Let's get Mick out as well. So we've got the helicopter cam. New. It's pretty cool.
Copy for radio check.
The yellow flag. Hey, Mag's had a spin.
Sorry, man. No mistake.
The only thing I don't like about this year with these replays, like the onboard, it's good, but they should have a little button across the bottom when you're watching a replay so you can maybe select the view you want to see. Hulkenberg, so we had K-Mag spinning in the first practice session. Yeah, see, we're getting a lot of these onboard replays, which I don't like, to be honest with you.
I lost it.
Right, there we have it, our first practice session as Team Lotus. As you see the little logo there. So as I say, when you see it at a little bit of distance, it doesn't look too bad, does it, to be fair? Yeah, Team Lotus first practice session in Bahrain is done, and not too bad in the end. Set-off satisfaction, 97% for both, 87% car parts knowledge for both, so they're getting used to the car. That'll get to 100% for the next race, and both 100% track acclimatization. So really, we could have bettered the setup by 3%, but not too bad at all to have both drivers, at 95% driver preparation as we head into the first qualifying session of the year. Confirmation of that now. 95% driver preparation for both Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher. Right, so let's jump into this Q1 session. Then, as I say, highly unlikely that we get out of Q1. As I say, it's the first time I've done this in created team, so obviously there's an extra team. So I'm guessing the cutoff is still 15th and just 7 cars go out instead of 5, I assume. Then Daniel Ricciardo, sorry, his first competitive run for Team Lotus. Let's see what we can do. I'd say I'm very much expecting us to finish 21st and 22nd in this first session of 2024. We shall see. So it is a 27.6 for Danny Rick, 27.6 for Mick. And he's gone 5 thousandths quicker. I make that 7 thousandths quicker. So very tight either way. Either way, that is very tight. Got a bit of traffic coming up here, so hopefully that's not going to get too much in the way here. See what that's like in the new game. Pulled out very well there for Ricciardo. Oh, not so much for Mick there. That's going to cost him 41.7. Yeah, 42.6. Going to abandon Mick's run there. Because that's not going to be competitive even for this car. And here we go. What's Daniel Ricciardo going to set then? You may as well. I'm not going to run Danny Rick again, as I say, because there's basically no chance we're getting out of this session. I want to see the times once everyone has ran on this first session. With 3 temps off show, well, that is not going to be representative, is it? It's Alonso. 7, probably like 7 temps off getting into Q2. Oh, it isn't 15th, so they do still knock 5 out in the 6 out, sorry. Yeah, we're 6 out in the first session, are we? I'm guessing 6 in the second session, 10 in the final. Right, so Mick was going quicker than Danny Ricciardo in that first sector of the first runs, but then he was held up with traffic. So let's see how close he can get to him. Not a great first sector. About a 10th off his first. Haven't played this game yet. No? Are you going to get it? Are you thinking about getting it? This is my first session in, so I can't give you too much a review yet. Seems pretty interesting though. Yeah, it certainly is. If you like management games, if you like Formula 1, it's definitely worth a go. So we should go green in the second sector at least. Because he was very slow on his first run. So we do go green in the second sector. So let's see what we can set. How close can we get to Danny Rick? Yeah, we're nearly 3-4 tenths off the slowest car. And Joe is nearly, well, 9 tenths. Yeah, 9 tenths off. So we're a long way back starting this season. A very long way back. So Mick across the line, and he's a couple of attempts off a Danny Ricciardo in the end. And as expected, we finish an almighty 21st and 22nd in this first quali session. But as I say, that is to be expected. We have got an appalling car to start the season with. And there we go. Confirmation then. Daniel Ricciardo will start in 21st. Mick Schumacher starting in 22nd place. Let's skip to Q3, shall we? Let's see who's setting the pace. And what a surprise. It's Max Verstappen who's on pole. Carlos Sainz second for Ferrari, then Oscar Piastri for McLaren, then Charles Leclerc for Ferrari, Sergio Perez for Red Bull, and then Lando Norris for McLaren. So both Ferraris, McLarens, and Red Bulls make up the top 6, but in a little bit of a jumbled up order there. Then we've got Hamilton for Mercedes, and the 2 Aston Martins, Stroll and Alonso, are 8th and 9th with George Russell, the final Mercedes in 10th. And there we go, no real surprises down here. We will start last, as I said. Let's get into this race, shall we? So, this flipped round again. No, it hasn't. Right. Yeah, so we'll stop a little bit later with Mick. So, Mick should be in around about lap 14. Danny Rick's going to be lap 12, so we're going to go early. We're going to be at the back of this race. It's probably going to be a boring first race. Probably going to be a few boring first races, unfortunately, because the car is just, say, miles off the pace. There is our newly launched car. There's the little Lotus logo. We're going to get a nice little fuel.
Possibly too much to ask from this car.
Come on then. Let's get into it.
22 cars.
First race of the season then. 3 lights, 4, 5. Held for a little while, quite a while. And we're on the way. Let's see what we can do. Probably 21st and 22nd to be fair. But let's see. As we've got a bit of a bus stop forming on this first corner. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Joe is inside Gasly. Lucky Gasly. Or Lucky Joe. Depending on your preference. Do you like this helicam? I just don't like the noise. The audio is just not there with it. Oh, here we go. We're half a lap into the first race and we're nearly a second off the pace already. As I say, I don't like to skip through the races and go on to, the fast forward, but we probably will need to do that for these first few races because, yeah, I don't think many people want to sit here and watch us trundling around the back, unfortunately. We've got to play the long game with this series. Yellow flag, sector 3.
Oh dear, a crash.
Rare and Sergeant Logan Sargent is our first crash of 2024. Not much contact there. Well, there was quite a bit of contact, but I think they'll both get away with it. Don't know what Sargent's up to in the car, but a lot of heavy breathing. Crash. It's another crash. If this is Sargent, this is ridiculous. I think it's Cray and Sargent again, isn't it? Is it?
Not just one
it
car
is.
Involved in that,
Oh,
as you can see. And they'll have to pick themselves up after that.
That's 2 collisions into each other's side pods. Ray's already got a penalty. Was he getting another one for that? Because it looked like he lost control there. He's under investigation again, I think, both of these. They're having a little bit of a ding-dong. And Mick Schumacher with DRS has dispatched Joe. And we are up to an amazing 20th in this race. And no penalties given on this occasion for Sargent and Cray. Mick Schumacher wanting to have another go here on K-Mag. Come on, Mick. This is lovely stuff. We are using and abusing our tyres, so I don't think this is our relative pace relative to our competitors. K-Mag's on the hards as well.
Let's take a look at the replay.
Let's have a replay.
Along the straight.
Team Lotus making a move on the Haas. Lovely move that is from Mick.
And Mick Schumacher says, Dankeschön. Thank you very much.
Oh, he does. He does indeed. Right, so we're in amongst these cars. I don't know whether we can stay there or not. Well, Joe's got past Mick now as well. We see a replay of that one. So just using DRS inside, and he takes that position back off us. Let's have a look at the tyres. So, yeah, as I say, we are abusing our tyres compared to the rest of the grid, so I don't think we're really going to be able to keep pace with these after we stop. But it's nice to be in a bit of a fight as Danny Rick makes his way past K-Mag there. K-Mag's definitely going long because he's on those hards, or those pushing those hards quite hard. Yeah, Team Lotus are not last. Well, Danny Rick is now last as K-Mag takes that position back. But, yeah, I was expecting us to run last for quite a while in this first race. I do like that they've mixed it up with the replays, but I just wish you could have selection on the camera when you're watching the replay. Because the game doesn't know the best angle for the replay, it appears. As Mick has now been overtaken by Max, and Maxon's tyres will now be coming a bit more to life because he's on those hard tyres. got stripe hard tyres, hardest compound, and we're on the softest compound, but ours are starting to, wear significantly now.
Let's go.
Got another yellow flag, and it's here. And if that is Sergeant again, which it is, it's his third incident.
Right
This is
then, you can
unbelievable.
take a look now. Now Alex Albon.
That was Albon, sorry, I apologise.
Pushing a bit too hard.
It
at
looks
this
like
point.
it is with his teammate though, isn't it?
Oh, that's obviously far from intentional, but there was contact.
I think he
And
locks
there'll
up.
be more than one unhappy team after that.
I'm sure that was Sergeant on his left-hand side there. Yeah, Sergeant is last, lost half his front wing. So that was Alex Albon going into his teammate, Logan Sargent there. And yeah, that's going to cost them a lot because he's going to lose significant time there, which is good for us. We'll take anything really to not finish last. And he's going to be losing time all across this lap until he can get into the pit. And Alex Albon's going to get a penalty for that, so that's 5 seconds for him. And Correa's already got a 5-second penalty, so we might be able to capitalise. As Mick's getting upset trying to overtake his teammate, but Ricciardo is now going to jump into the pit. So it's got a little bit spicy there, hasn't it? Albon has just absolutely wrecked his teammate's race. He's losing time consistently here trying to get back to the pits with that broken front wing. Look at that. That is, yeah, that's what we call broken. So Sargent's definitely going to be in. Danny Rick's going to be in here. Mick Schumacher's off the track there.
Daniel pit lane.
Imagine our pit stops are going to be absolutely horrendous. I don't even think about this, but we have got the worst staff going starting this series. So what on earth is our pit stop time going to be like? We're about to find out. We've got a slow drive because we'll be at the end of the pit lane, but that does change depending on where you finish. 2.9, okay. Not too bad, actually. I was expecting worse than that. So, Albon's having his front wing replaced now. But can we... Sergeant, sorry. Can we stay out ahead of him? Going to be interesting to see. And then we'll probably be able to forward on a bit. As Correa is now pitting as well, so that's going to be a long stop. Are we going to jump him? Because he's got 5 seconds to serve before they can work on the car. He's been in 2 separate incidents with Sargent, and then Albon's smashed into Sargent as well. So Sargent having a bit of a horrendous race. They're serving that time penalty. I think he is going to be out in front of us though. Well, he's having a front wing change as well, so he did take damage. 2.6 for Mick, that's a lot better. We did jump Correa as well. It's handy. Well, yeah, Correa's going to get past us here, so, you know, there's not much we can do about that. We've not got pace in this car. Just want to forward on to the rest of these pit stops, see if we do make any gains. I'm not really expecting any gains.
It's there for the taking.
Ooh, double move it looked like there from Mick. Correa is passed nonetheless.
That sees them climb up into 20th.
Yeah, I think, as I say, these first few races are going to be slightly boring as Sargent gets past us.
Now,
As I say, I don't normally like to forward the races, but, I
The
mean,
gap opens up
I don't
for
think
them.
the audience really wants to see us just languishing down at the back there. Not going to be too much action as Logan Sargent, after a bit of a
ahead goes
chaotic
Logan
Grand Prix
Sargent.
from him, he is now past us and we are down to last. As I say, we are expecting to finish dead last in this race. Mick Schumacher is now there. Ricciardo is about to be taken over by Correa. And Sargent is gaining on them as we see that move now.
They decide to give it a go.
A long way back. We get the helicam. Do like this helicam, as I keep saying though, the audio does need to be improved in that. The cars are basically silent.
And moves up a place.
So Zhou has stopped. Ricciardo has jumped Zhou in that round of pit stops, but as I say, they will now have more pace. Oh no, Mick.
I don't know what just happened.
You spun, Mick. That's what's happened. We can't be having these kind of
Got a yellow
mistakes.
flag here.
So Mick Schumacher, what's happened here? Just lit up the rears. Yeah, that's a bad mistake. Ricciardo, we might be able to push on the tyres a little bit later in the Grand Prix, as Alex Albon's now out after serving his penalty. Can we get past him here as he warms his tyres up? They're certainly thinking about it. Come on, Danny. That's nice. He's ran him off the road. You do see that a lot more in this new game. They do run the drivers off the road. A bit more aggressive, but Albon will probably get that back once his tyres are up to temp. So you see, nice move from Danny Rick. But as I say, I expect these cars now to come back at us here. As Albon gets past us, as I say, we are now going to forward this on because we're now about to be overtaken by all these cars. They're on fresher tyres. Our car is 2 seconds off the pace, even over these guys. Or probably at least a second and a half off these guys a lap. So,
Alex Albon
just can't compete at the moment. K-Mag makes that move on Daniel Ricciardo.
Now this was at turn 1.
Say we will now start to go backwards. So if you are jumping into the stream for the first time, thank you for the support. Thanks for getting involved. And as I say, we are forwarding on a bit here. We don't normally do that in our streams, but first race of the season, we're very much off the pace. So makes sense just to try and get through some of these races a little bit quicker so we can start to get some design work, start competing. As Zhou takes us now, we will shortly be down to 21st and 22nd place on the debut for Team Lotus. As Zhou's going to get this overtake done, and then that Logan Sargent will be thinking about it very soon as well. He may even be following him through here. No, not quite. You try your best, Zhou. Well done, well done. We're happy for you. What is this game called? This game is F1 Manager 24, released today. And there we go, Sargent does get that move done now on Danny Rick. There we go. So I was laughing. I mean, we've had 3 incidents in this race and they all involved Logan Sargent, but to be fair, he wasn't to blame for any of them. So that's hard luck for him. George Russell's had a spin. He's now down to 10th. Don't know where he's running before that.
Now we're at turn 11 now.
What's Georgie done here? He was 9th, so it looks like he's lost.
That's the moment they lose it.
That's a big old spin.
Just unable to bring the car under control.
Another yellow flag.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Yuki Tsunoda. So Russell had a spin and Tsunoda got past him. Yuki, has he returned the favour?
And the control's lost. And there's not much they can do about that now.
Joined the track a lot quicker. That's a much better improvement on F1 Manager 23. How quickly you rejoined the track there. Here we go then. Final stop. Running at the back of the grid. As I keep saying, not much we can do until we get a few races in. Start hopefully upgrading this car. But I think it is going to be a bit of a slow process. That's the point of this series, to bring us from nothing up to hopefully one day championship contenders. And 2.9 will take that as Mick Schumacher is coming in behind Daniel Ricciardo. .6, so for some reason Mick Schumacher's pit stops are a lot quicker than Daniel Ricciardo's. Quite sure why that is. Where have we been lapped up to now? We've been lapped by 17 cars off the field. Well, Mick Schumacher at least has been lapped by everyone from Bottas upwards. Pierre Gasly's involved in an incident on the final lap. What's happened here? There's someone on his inside. It's RB. Got another car on his outside now. So what happened there? We didn't see. It must have been Correa again, who's been involved in 3 incidents in this race. Ocon's now jumped Gasly on the final lap. So looks like Correa is under investigation again. He's already had a 5-second penalty served in this race. Is he going to get another one? He is. He's jumping down to about 16th. And he has. So he will finish 16th. He's going to lose 3 places there. Bit of a nightmare debut for him in the RB. As I say, 3 different incidents. 2 of those he's now got a penalty for, and he did get damage on one of them as well. But here we go, Max Verstappen in Bahrain. He's going to start the season as he did in real life in 2024. He wins in Bahrain. It's going to be Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari who's going to finish 2nd. Sergio Perez 3rd with Norris right on his tail.
Over the finish
But
line,
not enough to challenge. And I don't think there's any other fights that look that close. Stroll. No Ocon on Craig, but that doesn't really matter because he's going to serve that 5-second penalty. Yeah, no other changes there. And we finish 2 laps down and 32 seconds off 20th place. So that shows the amount of work that we've got to do on this car to at least even get some overtakes and challenge for 20th, let alone getting into, say, Q2 and some points.
On the face of Daniel Ricciardo after that
so here we go. This is the final running order there. Max Verstappen wins. Charles Leclerc in 2nd. Sergio Perez finishes 3rd. Lando Norris up 2 places to 4th. Carlos Sainz dropped 3 and finishes 5th. Oscar Piastri also dropping 3, finishing 6th. Lewis Hamilton finished where he starts in 7th. Alonso up 1 to 8th. And a good drive from Yuki Tsunoda, who finishes 9th, getting 2 points for the RB team. And Lance Stroll finishes 10th, Aston Martin. And then, yeah, George Russell had that spin. Really cost him, finishes outside the points in 11th. As we see, Juan Manuel Correa, who replaced Ricciardo, has finished 16th after that penalty was applied. So dropping 4 places from where he started, but dropping 3 places from where he actually finished the race. As we can see, Team Lotus 2 laps down. But as I say, a good 30 plus seconds off 20th. So lots of work for us to do. Drivers obviously will be the same as the race finished. The only difference there, obviously Lando Norris got the fastest lap. So instead of 12 points for 4th, he gets 13. And then the constructors will be Red Bull leading the way on 40 points after that first race. Ferrari on 28, McLaren on 21, Mercedes 6, Aston Martin 5, and Yuki's 2 points per RB in 6th. And the rest of us yet to score. And that is our first episode with Team Lotus done. So a lot of work went into actually doing, you know, the logo, the car, getting it all set up for that first race. And as I say, that first race, a little bit of a disappointment, but we have selected first on those presets. We're only starting with $2 million, starting with the worst car that you can and the facility. So this is a long-term project and series. And I think it's going to be a few races until we can even challenge those back markers. So it's going to take some work, but I'm happy that we've got started on this series. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks again for the support. If you haven't already, do like the video. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and do get involved in the comments. And we'll be back very soon with episode 2 as we head to Jeddah.